The next thing we want to talk about is for each key result, for each objective, we want to capture the assumptions that relate to it. Now, keep in mind, OKRs represent the strategy that you're using. And to that end, I want to make sure that everyone understands it, but there are different pieces of the strategy. The overall objective and the key results represent one piece of the strategy, but often people associate the approach to reach the strategy with the strategy itself. But I want to keep those two things separate because there's lots of worry about the number and amount of changes that occur. But if your goal is the same and the only thing that changed is your approach to it, we want to denote that. We want to make sure that stands out. Additionally, if the goal that you want to achieve, that remains the same, and your expectation is that the people that work for you figure out the approach, how we're actually going to achieve it, then you don't want to mix up the assumptions, the approach with the goal itself. So, lots of times what we'll do, especially in Workbench, and also in AHA, we'll ask ourselves the questions: what must be true in order to obtain the results desired? That gives you the assumptions, and then we list those things out separately. Now, inside of Workboard, we actually put those in the comment field. Inside of AHA, we actually have an assumption section. And that way, the approach to achieving the goal, to achieving your objective, to achieving a key result is separate from the assumptions that you're going to use to make decisions on how to achieve it. Making sure those two things are separated provides more stability, more comfort to the workforce, and it also empowers you as a manager to make sure it's easier for you to delegate because people can feel free to change the approach. Or if there are pieces of the approach, some of the assumptions that you don't want change, then you change the title. Instead of calling it a consumption, an assumption, you call it a constraint, and you let people know, I want you to do it with this approach up front.